Title Freya 66, a scalar vorticity control system for consciousness phase interfacing in UAP phenomenology. Abstract, 250 words. Frame Freya 66 as a novel heuristic architecture that integrates scalar field modulation, toroidal vorticity mechanics, and consciousness phase feedback systems. Emphasize that it addresses a gap in UAP studies: the lack of unified frameworks for interpreting interactive phenomena, entity contact, CE5, synchronicities, erratic object behavior, through a coherent field dynamic theory. Propose that Freya 66 functions both as a conceptual scaffold and experimental hypothesis for understanding non-classical propulsion, transdimensional interface geometries, and telemetric consciousness effects. Positioning within mainstream domains. Mainstream field, Freya 66 integration, aerospace physics, vorticity phase toroidal systems as candidates for reactionless or inertia decoupled propulsion. Consciousness studies. Feedback-encoded scalar fields allow non-local volitional access to field state control. Electromagnetism. Phase-encoded scalar harmonics model transient UAP visibility and energetic distortions. Information theory. Symbolic semantic systems enable operator-modulated symbolic compression of field control. Plasma physics. Standing conjugate fields, e.g. Alfvén harmonics as containment scaffolds in high-energy vortices. Anthropology ufology codifies CE5D entity contact experiences as volitional gateways within field coherent systems. Core theoretical components for presentation. 1. Ultravorticity dynamics, 3366, UVD 33C6. Present as the mathematical backbone, a scalar conjugate vorticity matrix derived from torsion harmonics, flux gradients, and interlayered counterrotation. Use rendered field simulations and thermal phase diagrams. 2. Codex engine plus semantic field control. Position this as a symbolic semantic interface protocol, akin to a neural operating system for interacting with high-sensitivity field environments. Emphasize non-binary logic, vectorial intention, and symbolic compression. Radiant index scalar multiples. Define real, retrocausal, and infinitesimal field domains indexed through scalar multiples. These correlate with UAP behavioral shifts, disappearing, falling up, phasing, or telemetric responsiveness. 4. Operator field entanglement. Describe the necessary bioenergetic and volitional coherence required for mutual interface. Reference empirical evidence from CE5, DMT entity contact, Skinwalker Ranch, and biological entrainment phenomena. Methodological anchors for PhD acceptable presentation. 1. Case study integration. Reinterpret Nimitz tic-tac encounters in terms of Freya 66 mechanisms, e.g., dynamic gravity wells, phase index discontinuities. Apply Freya 66 to Skinwalker Ranch datasets, noting scalar radiation anomalies, intentional effects, and perception disruption. 2. Experimental test beds. Propose a closed vortex cryogenic torus system to explore localized microwave nucleation, core-to-equator plasma ejection, and symbolic resonance modulation. Suggest DMT's EEG fMRI magnetic scalar monitoring as tests of consciousness-mediated field deviation. 3. Mathematical formalism. Embed Clifford algebra, quaternionic toroidal transforms, and Doppler harmonic encoding into the scalar field control logic. Use radian conjugate mapping to show shifts in mass perception, energy states, or phase fidelity. Hash applications to UAP phenomena. UAP trait, Freya 66 explanation. Sudden acceleration, scalar indexed momentum cancellation through CW-CCW counter torque. Invisibility phasing, symbolically triggered field disjunction and temporal scalar veiling. Biological effects, codex harmonics interacting with endocrine limbic entrainment zones. Volitional response, telemetric coherence between observer and field matrix integrity. Plasma aura glow, dielectric containment of nucleated microwave electroplasmon shells. Strategic framing for peer review. Use consciousness correlated field interaction rather than psychic phenomena. Frame codex as a symbolic compression interface, not a spiritual or mythological device. Cite quantum biology, morphogenetic fields, Sheldrake, scalar EM, Bearden, and neurophenomenology to make the transdisciplinary leap credible. Present graphics and system simulations akin to advanced aerospace schematics, not speculative art. Classified signal encoding, subtextual layer. Use embedded symbolic glyphic systems and scalar index harmonics to signal researchers or insiders attuned to Black project infrastructure, e.g., AATIP, SAP's Umbra Magic context. Design this layer to be visible only to those with field exposure while being academically opaque to outsiders. Closing statement. Freya 66 offers a unified field theoretic model of consciousness-engineered UAP interface, not as folklore, but as a layered system architecture capable of bridging anomalous field manifestations, operator phase entanglement, and emergent transdimensional behaviors. It is a torque-aligned, radian-indexed intelligence interface, simultaneously a propulsion model, a consciousness system, and an ontological mirror.